Go ahead.
People often do ask why our organization is called The Making Box. And the reason is that when I was growing up, myself and my brothers, we had like a plastic tote that my mom had made for us that was filled with like construction paper and pipe cleaners and glitter glue and different types of scissors, and she called that thing The Making Box, and it was a platform to create from. And so when a movement of people were using improv and comedy to build community, we decided to give it the name of The Making Box.
I remember shows that we've done for 4 people in the audience. I remember shows where the only people in the room were the people that were on stage, but we did it because we loved it.
Improv is important because we are constantly improvising. Every second of every day is improvised. Nothing is planned, nothing's rehearsed. If we can learn to be flexible and adapt and give ourselves the opportunity to fail and not let it stop us from moving forward.
Not only is it fun, but it also like lets us delve into our imaginations that we tend to grow up thinking imagination is bad. Like, ooh, being weird is bad.
No matter what your walk of life is, you can be part of this. And there are a lot of communities that don't have something like that, where you can go in and know that you're going to be accepted.
I would say that being scared of improv is a not uncommon response. It's often a sign of that it's something that you should be doing if you are afraid to be doing it.
There's definitely was venues for music and like scripted acting and stuff, but there wasn't really any like venues of doing comedy and that kind of expression.
We thought that perhaps that the community might need a place to allow themselves to become more open, happy, and connected through improvisation and build community through comedy. That was an experiment that went horribly right, and so here we are 3 years later.
I've had the incredible pleasure of bringing improv to preschool classrooms, women's prisons, corporate settings, like the engineers that built the Sky Dome, and I have seen this transform a lot of lives. Right now I'm leading a class at Community of Hearts and working with people with Down syndrome, and we're trying improv, and it's incredible, and it works for all kinds of people.
Improv teaches people that you don't have to trust that little voice in your head that tells you that all the choices that you're making are stupid. Just, we're being goofy, and it's just butts and farts jokes, and that's it.
I've really appreciated watching over the years students take ginormous risks in front of me, trusting me enough to, do something crazy, do something off the wall, because they know it's okay and they're going to be accepted for whatever it is they do.
This is something I can do with a small number of students. It doesn't require rights to a script or a soundtrack or costumes or lighting.
I had one young man who, before he had been involved in improv, literally was on the street. He had left school, he came back to school, wasn't sure if he wanted to continue, and happened to have a talent in improv. And he has said more times than you can count to anybody who would listen that improv saved him.
I used to be like in grade 9 or 10. I used to like be all over the place and like unable to control like when I was high, when I was low. I was very like obnoxious all the time and stuff like that. But like improv has kind of given me like an outlet to be that person and like do that where I'm not like that in my everyday life.
Nobody's gonna judge you. I find that especially with new improvisers, there's a lot of hesitation, but at the end of the day, everybody loves each other. So just go for it, just give her.
Most important thing to remember, your team has your back. They will always save you. So you don't have to be afraid. Just commit yourself to the moment and enjoy the ride.
Accept the fact right now that you're going to screw something up, that you're going to make a mistake. Embrace the failure, and that ultimately turns into what we call failing joyfully, recognizing that you are going to make a mistake, and that something that you think is a mistake can be turned into something absolutely awesome. So you can't be afraid to fail.
Say yes. Don't try to be funny, because it's gonna happen. And stop pre-planning. I hate when people pre-plan, and if I teach a workshop, I'll call it out. I'll be like, I know what you're doing, you gotta stop. Because it's so much better to be in the moment and just to listen.
It's gonna kind of suck not doing improv next year.
I think every city, I think every town, every university or whatever, any community should have an improv group. When you're an audience member, it can be liberating and freeing and so fun. To share, you feel like you're a part of that group, you feel like you're a part of that energy.
In every aspect of life, improv just makes you a little bit better. It makes you kinder, you laugh more, you smile more, you give more, and because of that, just the world is kind of a better place.
Especially in the community of improv that I've been in, you are embraced and seen as so courageous for just doing whatever you want and not caring about, oh well, I don't want to be a snail in this scene because I look silly on my stomach. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're gonna mess up. That's the only time when improv's any good. That if you just went out there and were like, yeah, I was perfect. I actually just performed Shakespeare. That wouldn't be improv or much fun.
And before one of our big chicken shows, we wanted to do a little vocal, verbal warm-up. And so we just started saying each other's names. And just out of nowhere, it turned into this whole song, this whole rap of Josh, 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 and then everyone going all together. And it was stupid, it was such a dumb thing. But for me, it was really telling of this group of how inventive and trusting and fun they are, and that happens with every improviser on the planet. You get in jokes, you get a sense of play and breaking the rules that you've set for yourselves and that society has set for you. That sounds huge and really dramatic, but it's in the most playful and fun environments, and that happens all the time.
Managers and CEOs will ask to bring in improvisers to teach their company improv to help work together as a team.
The only thing that stops good improv, the only thing that stops you from succeeding on stage is fear. It's being afraid. That's everyone's biggest fear, right? Getting up on stage and not knowing what to do. It's why a lot of people don't try improv for the first time. But when you do it with a bunch of people who are accepting and fun and high energy, you learn that you're fine, right?
If you're thinking about doing improv, do it. Do it.
Follow that fear and to embrace the people around you, because that's how you start.
Improv is great. Everyone should do it, especially you.